Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Dugout Sports Podcast. My name is Adetola Oluwaseyi Roberts, and as usual with me is
Juicy J.
Juicy J. Okay, tell them your name, Joe. Yeah. So it's another weekend. It's another weekend of sports. Another weekend of basketball.
Okay.
MZ
is in the building.
He's in the building. So Ramsey is behind the scenes.
You.
Yeah. So yes.
Are you okay now?
Are you alright? Are we good? Okay. So let's carry on. Okay. So before we go into our main focus, where we really thrive in sport, that's football, we're going to take a little talk of basketball. Now, the playoff push is really hard. It's really tough now. Any win right now is very important.
Yeah, very vital.
Now, all of a sudden, Lakers that have been really poor over the season are over 500 for the first time since last year.
Yeah.
Over 500.
Impressive.
Now, they are the 7th seed now. They beat the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves now dropped to, I think they dropped to, is it 10th seed?
Yeah.
Or 11th seed? I can't remember. I need to check that table again to be sure. But the thing is that anybody that loses now stands a chance to be eliminated from the playoffs. So everybody is taking the last 6 games they have now. It's like 6 win or go home games in the NBA
like
playoffs.
6 finals.
Yes, exactly.
Like 6 finals.
It's crazy.
At this point of the season, you really don't want to be caught napping.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that you want to see LeBron win another ring.
I'm a LeBron fan.
Yeah. So, especially in the season where he got to break
Kareem
record, you know. But then again, we get to see it over the next couple of games.
Yeah, so let's wait and see. I mean, there's still a certain Golden State Warriors, defending champions. They're still doing well, still shooting lights out threes at home. I mean, I know for a fact they're going to be very difficult to beat.
Very difficult to beat.
At the Oracle.
Any team that's comfortable shooting the way the Golden State Warriors are, and like you said it up there this morning, the moment they enter that zone,
nah, man,
it's almost like they're on fire, and like we almost never miss. So
it's open
what
season.
do you expect? Basically, I think the best shooter in the game ever plays for them.
Not you think. He's the best. He's the best shooter in the game.
So,
period.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about Steph Curry. Right?
So we'll wait and see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I mean, playing starts in April 11. So that's like in 10 days?
About 10 days.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's wait and see. But definitely we'll be giving you all the updates that we can from that part. So now let's also come back home. Premiership is back. La Liga is back. Serie A is back. Champions League is coming soon.
Look at how excited.
Yes.
Look at how excited.
I'm not the only one excited. Even coaches have said it. That's most of all these international breaks. Yes, it's good to play for your country, but the excitement is not there as it is when you're playing. Except it's the World Cup. Tournament is different. I understand. Yes, say something.
During the international break, a certain Lionel Messi
did what?
Scored his 100th goal for Argentina. Becoming the first player ever that has won the World Cup to score 100 goals for the national team.
I don't understand.
Other people have scored over 100 goals. And the deal scored over 100 goals. I think 106 or 104. A certain Cristiano Ronaldo scored 120.
Exactly.
But none of them have won a World Cup.
No,
I got to see that over the international break.
So?
It's Lionel Messi.
So?
Any opportunity to watch him play. I mean, in his element with Argentina, not with PSG. That second class team we moved to after he left Barcelona.
Oh, now PSG second class team because he cannot win the Champions League with them. I want you, Badu. Anyways, so the hot stuff. I mean, it's Saturday evening, so we just watched two exciting games, full of goals. Yeah. 10 goals altogether.
Yeah.
4-1. We're talking about City Liverpool first game, early kickoff, which has never been favorable to Liverpool this season.
Yeah.
They've not won all their early kickoff. In fact, they've even had to score.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Look on the bright side, Liverpool have only scored 2 goals in 8 of their early kickoff games this season, including the one they played today. And both goals were scored by Mohamed Salah.
Yeah.
Manchester City, on the other hand, in their last 22 games, before the game today, at home at the Etihad, I think their last 24 games at the Etihad, they've gone on to win 22 and have only drawn 2. At the start of the game, Mo Salah got that first goal, a very beautiful goal in the start of that game.
Yeah, good counter.
And then to a large extent, we thought, okay, were we going to see Liverpool do the unthinkable and then but hand over the league to Arsenal, and if they had gone on to defeat Manchester City?
I mean, I was hoping that they would hold out.
Especially when Erling Haaland wasn't playing, wasn't even listed on the bench. We saw him up in the stands watching the game as a fan. But then again, it's Manchester City. And like I told you before, the only reason why it seems like there's a Premier League race right now is because Manchester City are the ones bearing down on Arsenal. It was another team trailing this current Arsenal team I watched play not too long ago by the number of points, which is about 6 points or 9 points, or is it about 8 points?
8 points before.
It's back to 8 points now.
Back to 8 points now.
Back to 8 points. Although with the game to play, but it was another team, Manchester United. Please, I doubt it. So I didn't give me a long time ago.
Like you said, I think. Let me just say something. I think this season just took us back to the old days of Man U Arsenal.
Yes, Ferguson and
only that the other Manchester team is not the Manchester United team; it's the Manchester City team. Yeah. Because look at the gap between first, second, and then third.
My point exactly.
So the thing is, if Arsenal wasn't overachieving, because don't get it twisted, Arsenal is actually overachieving this season. Nobody believed Arsenal would challenge for the title. It was top 4, either getting the third or fourth position. Everybody believed it was going to be Man City, then Liverpool. Then maybe Man U could come in, or Chelsea, whichever. But everybody expected Arsenal to fight for the top 4. So if Arsenal was not overachieving right now, City will run away with it.
Definitely. So and at the same time, you also have to look at the fact that Manchester City, by their own standards, have been inconsistent as well this season. So
I don't agree with that.
To a large, Tola, you need.
What do you mean by inconsistent?
Okay. I saw games this season that Manchester City went on to lose, that they would have otherwise gone on to win. They've not games that on a normal day you're supposed to put away. They struggle. I saw the game against Crystal Palace. I saw the game against Brentford. I think a game against Brighton. These are games that normally City are favourites going into these games, be it home or away, and they begin to struggle. There were times during the season when people began to question Erling Haaland's credentials. He had been scoring goals, yes, but then some people were asking, is he the best fit for the team? It's on the same podcast we talked about Arsenal. You say they are overachieving. You might say that because I said this here. Teams have long-term goals. Teams have short-term goals. The short-term goal for this season would have been to make it into the top 4. We've said this before. And then the long-term goal would have been maybe from next season go on to win the Premier League title and then contest for European titles and whatnot. But Mikel Arteta has been building this team. And like you said this yourself, he's had the time to phase out certain players and integrate the squad with players of his own choosing, building them in his own model. And I am not surprised. He worked with a winner in Pep Guardiola. Sooner rather than later, he was always going to turn up and show that he was a good apprentice while he was at Manchester City. And I think that's what we are seeing now. And like I said before, if not because Manchester City recently picked up a good run of form and started winning games, Tola, if it was another team bearing down this Arsenal team that I have watched play this season, we will not be talking about a Premier League title.
We'll be talking about when are they going to come.
When are they going to lift it? It will be a question rather of when, rather of, So
not if.
Not if, yeah. Obviously.
So I guess it still boils down to that game at City.
Yes.
That game. I mean, if it's still 5 points up onto that game, if City wins, it's going to be 2 points. It will still be in Arsenal's hands. Yes, it will still be Arsenal's side to lose.
It's Arsenal's side to
lose. But I'm of the view like if Arsenal get away from that game with at least a point, that's the end of this. That's the end. Well, Arsenal will win.
You could say that. Then again, do not forget that the season when Aguero scored that wonder goal, QPR, we were about 8 points behind Manchester United.
With 5 games to go.
Yeah, and this is still about 9 games to go. That's the beauty of the Premier League. The only reason why we are still having this conversation because we talked about this before. We talked about this multiple times. This Arsenal team have shown that they are made of the stuff that champions are made of. Winning games that the Arsenal that I know, that you know.
The Arsenal of old, they say. Not of old, of recent past.
Of recent past would go on
to even draw
or lose. Point or lose the game in its entirety. So you really have to give it to Mikel Arteta.